is seeking to stand as a councillor must not be a member of parliament. So by the time nominations are held, there will be no members of parliament. So naturally, this is a very easy provision to apply, because there will be no MPs anymore at that time. But surprise, perhaps in the future, if there is a by-election, then it will be necessary to investigate whether that person is serving as an MP or not. They are expected to resign before the standards. So for nomination, the nomination procedure, there are a lot of changes with regard to this, but the work has been simplified greatly, because at nomination now, the Constitution provides that every candidate who wishes to stand as presidential candidate, member of parliament, a mayor or a councillor, must submit the nomination paper accompanied by an affidavit. So the Commission has revised the nomination paper. There is a new nomination paper which will be available at the right time. So the nomination paper outlines the qualifications outlined in the Constitution for each particular type of election. And then the affidavit also contains attestations by the candidate or the person that they have actually met all the requirements. So when you are looking for grade 4 certificate, for a copy of the grade 4 certificate, when you want to see whether the person is a registered voter, you go to the affidavit and see the attachments. Because the person will be expected to produce the attachment of the grade 4 certificate, a copy of the voter's card, a copy of their NRC, copy of their declaration of assets and liabilities. They will all be part of the affidavit. So this will be the documented evidence which the returning officer will be looking at. The nomination papers, the affidavit, and all the attachments to the affidavit. Then the returning officer will make a decision on the spot whether the nomination is valid or not. So the presidential candidate and the ultimate in terms of the nominations, they are both expected to file nomination papers. So the Commission will determine whether the candidates are eligible based on the validity of their nomination papers. The running mate has to be scrutinized also, because this is the fallback position. In the event that there is a vacancy in the office of president, the running mate, who at that time would have already been sworn, would have already been serving as the vice president, will automatically be sworn in as the president, not as acting president, but as full president of the country. So it is at this stage that the work must be done by the returning officer in presidential elections to ascertain that this person qualifies, even assuming there will be vacancy, this person will qualify to serve as the president of the country. The Constitution also provides for dispute settlement mechanisms. This is very important because elections, as we know, there are always a lot of allegations, there are a lot of complaints, there are a lot of counterclaims. So in the Constitution, there is a new feature there in the Constitutional Court which has been established. A few weeks ago, you might have seen some judges, about 5 judges, sworn as the judges of the Constitutional Court. So these will hear presidential election disputes. And what we have to realize as the electoral managers is that the dispute mechanism system, which has been established now, entitles the court to interfere with the nomination. So in the past, once you file nominations, nobody could challenge that. If they were not happy about that, they had to wait until after the elections. That's when they could go to the court. But in this constitution which we have now, even after filing nominations, somebody can challenge those nominations. I can go to the Constitutional Court. So once a dispute is filed there in the court can say anything. And what comes from the court is a court order. So for now, we cannot really go into those details because the court is yet to become operational. The Constitutional Court will also hear any disputes relating to the first ballot This is tied to the 50% plus 1. So if at the initial ballot no candidate gets this 50% plus 1, the commission will set another date for the second ballot. So if there were issues, if anybody is not happy with what happened at the first ballot, they will be free to go to the Constitutional Court. And assuming only 2 candidates, there are 2 candidates, either of them or whoever, the law is yet to be clarified, can go to the court and seek to have one of the candidates removed from the final list of those who will go to the second ballot. And if there are enough basis for that, the Constitution provides that the Constitutional Court can order that the candidate steps down. And then what happens? The third candidate must come on. The one was the third must come the second, and then we go for the second ballot. So, but all these details, for now, they are theory, but we are yet to see how they will be done. So I have to mention that the Constitutional Court will make final decisions. So once the court decides, there is nowhere else to go. Perhaps then we can go back to the court and ask what will do this decision. But to the final decision for that purpose. So the other aspect relates to the elections for National Assembly elections. For this one, the High Court will be given the power to decide a National Assembly election petitions at nominations. This is a new feature I want to emphasize that at nominations, the courts can interfere. Whether the interference is the right way, but I haven't found a better way to do this. So the High Court can make decisions regarding the validity of nominations. And also after the poll, the High Court can make decisions regarding the election. And then there's something about the local government elections. The Constitution provides that there will be local government election tribunals which will decide election disputes for local government. And when we say for local government, this means elections for councillors and also elections for mayors and the council chairpersons. Because for purposes of the Constitution, a mayor or a council chairperson is also a councillor in that regard. So this local government election tribunal will be established by the Chief Justice. And it will be comprised of magistrates who will head the tribunals. The magistrates will be assisted by 2 legal practitioners in the districts or whichever jurisdiction the Chief Justice will establish. So there is also something to do on the media. Political parties and candidates, it's mandatory that they should have access to the media. This relates to the public media. As for returning officer, there's a new feature here. There's traditionally been the Chief Justice who was the returning officer in presidential elections. But in the new dispensation now, chairperson of the Electoral Commission will be the returning officer. The chairperson will announce the results of the presidential elections and also declare the results and really pronounce the president-elect. Thank you.